Today on the channel, we go back to Star Wars Episode 1 with the Gungan Assault Cannon and our good friend Jar Jar Binks. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel as we continue our daily Star Wars unboxings in 2021. And today, we've got another one of those grandma vehicles. We'll talk about that, but it's Gungan Assault Cannon with Jar Jar Binks from the old Phantom Menace Episode 1. And remember, for all your modern day Star Wars needs, including Jar Jar Binks, make sure you hit up Big Bad Toy Store. Link in the description below. So today, we're talking Gungan Assault Cannon, Jar Jar Binks. We've had so many Jar Jar figures in Episode 1. I've talked about it before on the channel. Jar Jar really hurt my feelings in the old Phantom Menace toy line. It's the reason I bailed. I didn't really start it. I didn't really go into it. I went to the movies. Obviously, I've seen every Star Wars movie in the theater at least one time. But Jar Jar really turned me off from the Star Wars universe. I was, middle teen years. Jar Jar just wasn't hip to me. It just wasn't a cool thing for me. With time, a lot of people have grown to like Jar Jar. I'm still not really that big of a Jar Jar fan. I had to have his Black Series figure, though. But, boy, at this point, it was Jar Jar overkill. We got so many Jar Jar 3-packs, 2-packs. We got him with a cannon. We got him with, riding whatever that species was he was riding. We got him in vehicles. Jar Jar overload. I get having different Luke Skywalkers, Han Solos, and different gear and stuff, but Jar Jar, did you need 20 different Jar Jar Binks in your collection? I don't know anybody that did. If you were one of those people, you guys let me know in the comments, but I just don't think anybody was all in on Jar Jar to that extreme, and that's part of the reason Jar Jar isn't really beloved in the Star Wars universe, because he was overkill. He was shoved down our throats left and right. Why couldn't we have got just a Gungan trooper or a regular guy? We got a few of those, and that's what we want. That would help build that army out. There was a huge scene where there was hundreds and hundreds of them. I would have rather had just a regular Gungan, not Jar Jar. But I guess, what I'm planning on doing, put a little smoke and mirrors to it. I'm just going to put them all together and pretend they're different people in my big display. That's my plan. We'll see how it works out when the time comes and the pen to the paper and it's realized in front of me if that works out or not. But I did mention this is another one of those grandma vehicles. I always talk about it. When you go visit your grandma and she's watching you, babysitting you, or staying in her house for the weekend or a week in the summer or whatever, like I did. You'd go to the store, you'd go to Walmart, you'd go to Target, you'd go to Walgreens, you'd go to a store with your grandma. She'd get some medication, she'd get some food, some groceries, because grandmas weren't taking you out to eat a lot. They were making you that great home-cooked meal. They were going all out for little Kyle. And grandma, you'd go to the local Pamida for you Midwest people. Pamida was one I hit up. Old Sheldon, Iowa. Don't forget Sheldon. We all love Sheldon, Iowa. I haven't been there in a while. Every once in a while I swing back through. But a lot of weeks there. And grandma would take you to Pamida or Ben Franklin's. You'd go there. And you'd be, carousing. Grandma was getting stuff. I'm going to look at the toys. And, Grandma, is there any way I could get something? That's what you'd say. Grandma, come on. I'm 7, 8 years old. Grandma, couldn't you help me out? And this was G.I. Joe time. But it goes down to this day and age with my kids and my parents. I'm sure they do the same thing. Grandma, could I get something? Grandma, she's like, I'm not going to get you that $3.99 G.I. Joe guy. But, I'm not going to get you the aircraft carrier. I'm not going to get you some of the bigger vehicles. We're not getting you the Night Raven. We're not getting you any of the water moccasins and stuff like that. But then you see that Cobra Buzzsaw. It's just a little figure, a little vehicle. It's $10. Grandma's like, I'm not going to cheap out and get the $3.99 figure. I'm not going to go buy the $50 vehicle. But, the $10 vehicle, I'm all in for little Kyle. That'll be happy. And Kyle's happy. He's pumped. He's excited. He's got a whole new entry into his figures. New wars are to be had, all that kind of stuff. It was a great time. It was a great way. It was a great day to be alive. And hopefully you all had that experience one time or another in your life. And that's what this is. This is a middle, not a big royal starship, not just a straight-up Jar Jar figure. It's a 2-in-1 job, not too expensive with the cannon. And bam, there you go. That is the grandma vehicle for those who don't know. So let's take a look at the picture. The box. There it is. Got a little bit of background. We've seen that before with some of the droid packs as well. That nice green landscape. Very cool. Makes me think I might have to hit up my old friend, That Backdrop Guy on Instagram. Maybe get a nice green backscape like this to have as part of that battle. We'll see when the time comes. So there it is. A lot of Episode 1. You got Darth Maul's face up there. Very similar to the Power of the Force where you had Darth Vader's face up there. I always kind of felt like Darth Maul got his legs clipped out. You know, he also did get cut in half, but I always felt like he got he knocked out a little too soon. And then they brought him back in the Clone Wars cartoon, and it was all right. But I feel like there could have been a lot more to the Darth Maul story. I think we could have had him as quite the villain. I don't know if you could have put him in Count Dooku's spot. I did love Dooku as well, so I don't know. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Little random thoughts. There it is on the side. There's the blaster cannon. Same thing on the other side. Of course, the back. And we got a little promotion down here. Let's see what it says. Gungans produce many of their structures using a secret method that actually grows the basic skeletons of many vehicles and weapons. The Gungan assault cannon is created from this process and then fitted with electronic components to create a powerful assault weapon. Wow, those Gungans, I always thought they were kind of dumb, but man, I guess they're really smart if they can grow their own weapons. I mean, that's next level farmer stuff is what that is. That was what I was talking about. The Kadu and Jar Jar Binks promoted on the back here. We opened that up on the channel. And then you got Opie and Qui-Gon Jinn. Opie from Andy is Mayberry. You gotta love old Opie. And we opened that up on the channel as well. This was made in 1999. 20 Jedi Master Points on this bad boy. Does anybody know what those Jedi Master Points got you? I think it didn't go anywhere if I remember right. So, anyways, without further ado, let's get this unboxed. There it is. Empty box. See you later. Oh, we're strapped in. You guys know, I mean, I have to have my scissors close for these Star Wars unboxings. Everything is strapped in. There's the old plastic prison. I do like that background, though. That's a nice little touch. Well, let's see. I mean, we got twist tie. We got twisty things. We've got tape. I mean, they just go all out for these old school Star Wars toys. It's unbelievable. I was watching something the other day about Star Wars. I don't know if it was the toys that made us or I was reading an article or whatever. They said something like the average toy launches with like 10,000 units shipped. And it was something like 50 to 100,000 on some of the Star Wars Power of the Force and Phantom Menace figures. So they just absolutely flooded the market. And if you were a collector back in the day, you probably very much remember that. I know I do. You know, they were launched. Some were harder to find than others, and that was kind of back to the distribution issues. There was distribution issues even back then, folks. You guys that argue about it now, we've been dealing with that for many, many years. I think it was C-3PO and Princess Leia weren't shipping in the original Power of the Force figures, if I remember right. I remember C-3PO, it's like, I have R2, why can't I find this C-3PO? And there's just wasn't the news like there is now, so you didn't really know what the reasoning was. Why weren't these not shipping? But then you found them later, and you know they were out there in spades. There was no lack of Star Wars toys, especially the Power of the Force, and even Phantom Menace. I mean, they were all in on Phantom Menace. They thought this is going to be Return of the Jedi all over again. You know, this is going to be next level. Maybe for some kids it was. Not, you know, for me, I've talked about it before. It wasn't quite the next level I was hoping for. Jeez, this is fighting me like crazy, but we're getting there. So very interesting times in the toy, see you later, toy world back in the day. Gosh, they are strapped in. But that is one reason. So like I go back to, they shipped, you know, 10,000 units is a normal shipment for toys, and they're shipping, you know, 50,000 or whatever of some of these figures. Why do you think you can walk into almost any toy and collectible store to this day and find them the same price that they were in 1999, 1995, 1996? See you later. I mean, put that into example. Can you imagine going into a comic book store and getting your Hasbros 3 for $10 like they were at KB back in the day? No. Obviously, there's a little more fondness out there for WWF Hasbro figures compared to maybe some of these Phantom Menace toys, so it's not quite apples to apples. More apples to oranges, but it's still, I mean, can you imagine just going into a toy store and finding those right now? I mean, it's just not going to happen. Ugh, this thing, I tell you, I don't know. See how good it is. That went in there all right. All right, see you later. What a mess. And Jar Jar's got a little stickiness in his back hair fin things, but your traditional Jar Jar, I don't know. How many Jar Jars do you need? How many are you going to make? That's the question. I guess that's the answer. How many Jar Jars you need? How many are you making? Because I'll take every single one. So yeah, you'll stick this up on the hill, and Jar Jar's got his weapon, and bam, here he goes. Let's see, we'll shoot it right at the camera. Can we hit it? Whoa, what the heck? So it opens up, but how does it shoot? Probably right here. No? No. Shoot. What are we doing here? What is this? What is this trickery? Oh, okay. It was a little stuck. These old plastics on these toys, especially the Star Wars ones, don't work as well as they should. There it is. Bam! Right there. Hit the screen. Deadeye. Old Jar Jar. It's cool how it opens up like that. It's alright. Is this a must-have? Absolutely not. If you're building a big display scene, a big war scene, yeah, it is a must-have. You know, it's funny, and I see that with my kids, going back to the grandma story. This is like nothing you really need. I can see kids having a Jar Jar and saying, I really want this. And then you ask yourself, why did I get this? What was I thinking? I already had a Jar Jar. I could have got somebody else. This is kind of one of those caught up in the heat of the moment. Grandma said I can get a toy. There's no other options, and I'm not just going to walk away with nothing. I'm going to pick something out, and that's what this is. This is what this reminds me of. I see my kids do that a lot now. They're at Target or Walmart. They don't know what they're doing. They're like, oh, I want to get something, and they can't find anything they want, and then it's just, you can't leave without anything. So then they just pick something that's really dumb. They play with it in the car ride home, and you never see it again. It drives me absolutely crazy. So there it is. A lot of ranting and raving and rambling in this video. But not a lot to talk about of this vehicle, this weapon, this blaster, this cannon, this Gungan. It is what it is. I mean, it's okay. I can see some people maybe want to have 2 or 3 of these. I would buy a couple of these if I could find them loose in good shape. If I could find them for a buck or two, I think it would blend it out the display space I'm going to have one of these days. But even at $10, which is what I paid for this, I'm not buying another one for $10. But if I get one even cheaper or get some loose ones, I might be a buyer. So there it is. You guys let me know. Any thoughts on this video? Did you pick this up? Did you have this? How many Jar Jars do you have in your collection? I got about 15 too many at this point. But you guys let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like the video. We got Star Wars unboxings every single day, as you know. So there it is. For Jar Jar Binks, I'm Kyle. I'll see you guys all real soon.